What's going on, everyone? Chris from Pickdawgz.com here with the Wraparound. We're going to be breaking down the NHL action going down on Tuesday, February 4th, 2025. If you like this content, make sure you smash that thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel. Let me know your NHL picks in the comment section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, including my daily $15 best bet, head to Pickdawgz.com. Click the Premium Picks tab at the top of the page. Today's a great day to do it. We've got a lot of action on the board, a lot of college hoops. Got some NHL and some NBA on the card as well. We're coming off another winning day on Monday, so let's keep it rolling. Let's make some more money. Let's get you guys paid on Tuesday, whether it's just with me or you pair me up with someone else, part of the 2-for-1 Capper promotion. Remember to use the promo code PICK at checkout, 15% off your purchase. We got 14-game NHL card here, a loaded NHL card. We're counting down the days until the 2-week break for the Four Nations Cup. And, said just going to have a couple of these big cards left, and then we're going to have a bit of a reprieve from the NHL for a little bit as they give us a tease of the NHL going back to Olympic action in 2026. But, we're still here to talk about a 14-game NHL card. Probably going to speed run through it a little bit today. Still not feeling the greatest, so but I still want to get these plays out for you guys. So, without further ado, you guys know the drill. You ready? I'm ready. Let's get into it. Our first game comes to us from the KeyBank Center, where the Buffalo Sabres take on the Columbus Blue Jackets. And the Buffalo Sabres have won 3 games in a row, but realistically, how sustainable is that for the Buffalo Sabres? If I'm sitting back here and thinking about it, the Columbus Blue Jackets, they're not the greatest team on the road this season. They're 9-15-4 on the road, but there's been a couple of spots where they were able to provide some value. They did fall short against the Dallas Stars, but their 2 losses in their last 6 games are on the road at Dallas and at Carolina, 2 of the better home teams in the NHL this season. The Buffalo Sabres are still just 12-3 at home this year. And the Columbus Blue Jackets have been a team that can provide value for us in a lot of different ways. And I think that this is a spot where maybe we could get some value with them. They are 4-1 in the last 5 meetings between these 2 teams in Buffalo. The road team in this matchup, 5-2 in the last 7 meetings as well. I'm going to take a shot on the Blue Jackets here at plus 1.5. Maybe on a little bit on the money line as well, plus 140. Now we're going to the Amalie Arena for this matchup between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Ottawa Senators. And I get why Tampa Bay would be favored at home. The Tampa Bay Lightning at Amalie Arena are usually a tough out. And Ottawa on a back-to-back isn't necessarily the most ideal spot for this team to be in. But I will say I like the tandem that Ottawa's rolling with in goal right now of Anton Forsberg and Levi Merilainen. Merilainen's looked really good in his debut so far this season. He's allowed 1 goal in his last 2 starts. The Tampa Bay Lightning continue to be inconsistent. They've dropped 5 of their last 7 games. Goal scoring is kind of an issue for the Tampa Bay Lightning right now, even at home. So I'm going to take a shot here on the Ottawa Senators. They've won 5 in a row, and I think that they can upset here. I mean, they've won 5 of the last 6 meetings between these. 6 of the last 7 meetings between these 2, including each of the last 3, and they've won back-to-back games in Tampa Bay. I'll take a shot here on the Sens, plus 1.5, and on the money line at plus 155. Now we head to the PPG Paints Arena for a matchup between the Pittsburgh Penguins and the New Jersey Devils. And I get why, it's worth a look for a home dog in some spots. But the Pittsburgh Penguins, for me, continue to be a team that's just frustrating to back. And, yeah, they've won back-to-back games. But the problem with Pittsburgh in those 2 games that they beat a Utah team when they beat Utah on the road. And Utah's team just really struggles at home for whatever reason. And then they come home and they beat the Nashville Predators, who continue to be one of the most disappointing teams in the NHL this season. The New Jersey Devils, winning record on the road at 14-11-2. They've won 3 of their last 5 games head-to-head. New Jersey's won 8 of the last 9 meetings, including each of the last 4 meetings in Pittsburgh. So I'm going to take the New Jersey Devils here. I think the Devils find a way to get the job done. It's a reasonable price with the Devils. It's actually, I think, trending in Pittsburgh's direction, the price. So we're getting a better price on New Jersey here. So give me the New Jersey Devils on the money line in this one. Now we're going to the Capital One Arena for a matchup between the Washington Capitals and the Florida Panthers. And if you've watched the wraparound, you've watched the live shows this morning, or this season, you know that I'm a big fan of this Washington Capitals team and what they really have put together so far this season. But the problem here is that, like all good teams, or even all bad teams, every team in the NHL is going to go through slumps. And right now, the Washington Capitals have dropped 3 of their last 4 games. They're still 16-4-5 at home this season, but they've had some issues right now. And now you're taking on a Florida Panthers team that, hasn't been the most consistent on the road. They're 16-10-1 on the road, but head-to-head, the Florida Panthers have owned this matchup between these two teams. And the Washington Capitals, like I said, they're stumbling a little bit right now. It's not a game I'm rushing to the window to bet necessarily, but I'll lean towards the Panthers here, just given the head-to-head history between these two teams and the fact that right now the Capitals have had some shaky goaltending performances in the last couple games. Now we're heading to the TD Garden for a matchup between the Boston Bruins and the Minnesota Wild, and I'm going to go with Minnesota in this one just simply based on the price between these two teams. The Boston Bruins are a team that I've just had a hard time figuring out whether it's, trying to figure out when I'm going to zig and they're going to zag, or when we can get on the same page, but that's just how it always seems to work. We just head in different directions. When I give Washington the benefit of Washington, still stuck on the last game. When I give Boston the benefit of the doubt is when they lose 7-2 to Buffalo on the road, 6-2 to Winnipeg at home. But then I start deviating the other way. I go, the other side, and then all of a sudden they beat the New York Rangers 6-3, and it's like trying to figure out which side to get on here. But I'm going with the Wild because we're getting plus money with Minnesota, who lost 6-0 to the Ottawa Senators last time out, but it's the final game of a road trip. They've been a better road team than they've been at home this season. They have 20 wins in 29 games on the road this year. And like I said, they're playing some solid hockey. And they were playing solid hockey on the road before that loss to Ottawa. So I'm going to take a shot on the Wild here at plus 105, and then they get the job done on the road. Now we're going to go to the UBS Arena for a matchup between the New York Islanders and the Vegas Golden Knights. And like I mentioned, with a couple teams already, teams are just going to go through slumps. And right now, the Vegas Golden Knights are in a slump. They've lost 8 of their last 10 games. And the problem for Vegas is that they're on the road here, where they are a sub-500 team, 12-13 on the road this season. The New York Islanders are a sub-500 team at home, but we're catching plus money with them in the home underdog role. They've won 5 straight at home. Coming back off a little mini road trip. They will have to head back on the road after this, going into the Four Nations break. But New York's been playing some solid hockey on home ice, and they've won 7 of their last 8. So I'm gonna take a shot here on the Islanders at plus 127. Like I said, I think this is just a decent spot, decent price, and I'm trying to figure out when the Vegas Golden Knights are going to turn things around. But until they get back on track, they're just a hard team to back right now. Now we head out to the Enterprise Center, where the St. Louis Blues take on the Edmonton Oilers. And a lot of the head-to-head trends to just say back the St. Louis Blues here, because historically they've had the number of the Edmonton Oilers, and they've had a lot of recent success against Edmonton, and Edmonton's dropped back-to-back games. But my problem with St. Louis is that they are still having issues scoring. They've scored 2 goals or less in 5 straight, even in the 2-1 road win over the Utah Hockey Club in their last matchup, and they're still a sub-500 team, both home and away this season, but they're 11-13-1 at home. And scoring issues are not something that you want to have when the Edmonton Oilers come into town, because even in losing efforts, this is usually a team that can put up 3-4 goals a night. And right now, I just trust Edmonton's offense to be able to carry this team more than I trust the St. Louis Blues to be able to hold serve. I mean, they're 1-4 in their last 5, even with a 2.5 goals against average. I'm not liking the makeup of the Blues right now. I think the Oilers come in, get the job done. I'm going to take the Oilers to win this one in regulation at minus 120. Now we head to the Canada Life Center, where the Winnipeg Jets take on the Carolina Hurricanes. And, I'm trying to get to the Carolina Hurricanes being favored on the road here. I know they've won a lot of their recent road games in some tough environments as well, beating the likes of the Rangers and the Dallas Stars. But we're getting plus money with a Winnipeg Jets team at home that's won 20 of 28 home games this season. That's won 6 straight, even though their recent winning streak has come on the road. they're scoring goals for fun right now. And I know this may be a bit of a sucker price, and maybe we're getting sucked in with the Winnipeg Jets here, but I don't care. I always say if a team is trying to pull me into a trap, I hope they got a heavy duty net that can hold some weight, because I'm going to go into it full hook, line, and sinker here. You're now getting plus money with the Winnipeg Jets. Maybe you see Eric Comrie get the start here for Winnipeg, but I can't see it being Comrie here, with the Winnipeg Jets only having one more game before the Four Nations break, and it's a home game and it's a couple days from now. So to me, I'm just gonna go with the value here. I'm just gonna take the Winnipeg Jets at the money line here. Right now, I had it at minus 105, but it's trending into plus money for the Winnipeg Jets at this point. Now we head to the Scotiabank Saddledome, where the Calgary Flames take on the Toronto Maple Leafs. And the Calgary Flames have been a great home team this season, so seeing this kind of plus money with them could be worth a look. But Toronto, I think, is still the better team. They snapped their losing streak. Joseph Woll had one of the saves of the year in helping Toronto pull off the win against Edmonton. And I think Toronto's going to be able to build on that here. The Calgary Flames, yeah, they've been playing better, and they've been, a decent team at home this season, but they've dropped 2 of their last 3 home games, and they dropped them to, in decent spots against decent teams like Detroit and Washington. They have the win over the Anaheim Ducks, and that's all well and good. But now Toronto's coming to town. Toronto 12-8-2 on the road this season. Not the best road record, but it's a winning record nonetheless. And head-to-head, Toronto's won each of the last 4 meetings, 8 of the last 10, and they're 6-1 in the last 7 trips to Calgary. I'm going to go with the Toronto Maple Leafs here at minus 149. Delta Center for a matchup between the Utah Hockey Club and the Philadelphia Flyers. And, the thing about this match is that you have 2 teams that are struggling right now. The Utah Hockey Club have lost 5 in a row. The Flyers have lost 3 straight and 5 of 6. They've been shut out in each of their last 3 games as well. So for me in this one, I know that at a certain point Philadelphia is going to score. They're going to break out of this offensive slump. But until they do, what I see here is you have 2 teams that are struggling to score. So I got to roll with the under here. Like I said, Philadelphia's been shut out in 3 straight. Scored 1 goal or less in 5 of their last 6, and 2 goals or less in 6 of their last 7. While Utah has scored 2 goals or less in each of the 5 games during this losing streak. The only game where we saw an over was a 5-2 loss to Winnipeg. Even then, they're losing close games, losing low-scoring games, 3-1, 3-2, 2-1. So I'm going to go with the same thing here. I'm going to take the under 5.5 and a 1-3 wins kind of game. Now we head to Climate Pledge Arena for a match between the Seattle Kraken and the Detroit Red Wings. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm going to keep riding this Red Wings train until the tickets stop cashing. I know at a certain point we're going to have to stop, and but until that day comes, I'm not going to do it. I mean, Detroit just swept a back-to-back in Calgary and Vancouver. They've had a lot of success on this recent road trip. They've won 6 in a row, like I said. The goaltending is standing up. They've allowed 2 goals or less. The goaltending has in each of its last 5 games. Seattle's goaltending has just been inconsistent. Their play as a whole has been inconsistent. They've dropped 4 of their last 6. So if we're going to keep getting these prices with Detroit, I'll keep taking them. It just feels like the books just don't buy into the Detroit Red Wings. And yeah, the win streak won't last forever. But until it cools off, I'm not going to fade them. Give me Detroit here at minus 105. Now we head to Rogers Arena for a matchup between the Vancouver Canucks and the Colorado Avalanche. And I just can't get on board with Vancouver at home. This team just continues to struggle on home ice. They're 9-10-7 at home this season. Way better on the road, 14-8-4. And, the Colorado Avalanche, a team that just plays balanced hockey. They've been good home and away for the better part of the season. Vancouver, they said they just lost to Detroit at home, and 9 out of 26 games they've won at home. This is not a Canucks team that I just want to ride right now. This looks like a completely different team than the one that made their run to the playoffs last year. It's hard for me to get on board with Vancouver in their form at home. So give me the Colorado Avalanche by default in this one at the reasonable price, minus 140. Now we go to the Honda Center for a match between the Anaheim Ducks and the Dallas Stars. And I went back and forth on this game, but I think I'm actually going to take a shot here on the Anaheim Ducks. just purely based on the price here. You have a Dallas Stars team that has been red hot. They've won 5 straight and 6 of 7, but the majority of their wins have come at home. And that's where they have 20 wins out of their 28 home games this season. On the road, a lot more, pedestrian, 14 and 10. And Anaheim plays their best hockey at home as well. They've won 4 of their last 5. For the most part, even in the losses, the Ducks have been somewhat competitive head to head between these two teams. So, the Anaheim Ducks would have covered the puck line, the +1.5 puck line in 4 of the last 5 meetings. So, give me the Anaheim Ducks here in a lean +1.5, and sprinkle on the money line at +190. Our final game on Tuesday's card takes us to the SAP Center, where the San Jose Sharks take on the Montreal Canadiens. And I'm going to close out by going dog hunting one more time. I'm going to go with the San Jose Sharks +1.5 on the money line. And this one, again, said it before, say it again. They're teams that are going to go through slumps, and I'll give Montreal full marks, full credit for putting themselves in a decent spot to be able to get back to the playoffs. They've had some decent performances from their goaltenders in Montembeault and Dobish, but right now I think I gotta roll with the San Jose Sharks to take a shot on them here. The San Jose Sharks are not the team with expectations here. Right now, that's the Montreal Canadiens with how well they've been playing. The expectation is on this team to, and the pressure is on this team to make the playoffs. San Jose, they're not expected to do much, but they've also been able to provide value in some spots. They're still 32 and 22 on the puck line this season, and I can guarantee you the majority, if not all of those, have been as the underdog. They're still 9-16 and 1 at home this season. So I think right now Montreal, they've lost 5 straight. They just can't score right now. They've scored 2 goals or less in 4 of the 5 games during this losing streak. So I'll take a shot here on the Sharks plus the 1.5 and on the money line at plus 145 to round things out. That's it. That's all the NHL action for Tuesday, February 4th, 2025. Again, if you like this content, make sure you smash that thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel. Let me know your NHL picks in the comment section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, including my daily $15 best bet, head to pickdawgz.com and click the Premium Picks tab at the top of the page. Remember to use that promo code PICK at checkout for 15% off your purchase. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys soon.